This is SoulCalibur 5. We're here on Xbox 360. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is SoulCalibur, a battle for the Blade of Dawn. Anyways, yeah. So I love the SoulCalibur series. I always have, you know, going back to like SoulCal 2. We used to play it on the good old, was it the GameCube back in the day? It had Link, and the SoulCal series, they're always so much fun. And I really do wish that all of them were available kind of in the modern era. Would be great, but obviously the plethora of guest characters, like you see in a little bit here, are kind of a little bit prohibitive for that sort of thing. So I guess if you're not familiar with SoulCalibur, you typically get a story setup, a selection of different kind of like quick play battle type modes, whether you're just competing against another player locally or online, or doing some kind of like watch the AI fight each other, or doing, you know, survival type stuff. That's all kind of present within the stage of history, within SoulCalibur. Now that was really, really quick. Battle 3, fight! Anyways, yeah, this one kind of did some new things with the setup. There was a roster, like I guess of 28 characters, and it continued the series' strategic style of weapon-based combat, which always made SoulCal kind of neat. Sort of up the ante in the style in regards to the aesthetics, the environment, everything like that from SoulCal 4. What are we getting here? 720p, 60 FPS. And while it is a little jaggedy around the edges, I still think this game actually looks really, really good. Particularly for its era, it's very visually impressive and holds up quite well. I mean, yeah, lots of little jaggedy lines, but at the same time, they're kind of hidden more effectively than I've seen for a number of other titles. Wow, Nightmare's coming back against me pretty hard here. I was not expecting that one. So this one's got a little bit of a different story, and I guess it sort of caps off that original Soul's tale that was kind of going across the games. And yeah, still eagerly awaiting more SoulCalibur games. The Soul series has been a real pleasure of mine for fighting games all the way back. This was always the series that I genuinely loved. More than a lot of the other ones, which is kind of funny, because I don't know if there's a whole lot of people that are exactly like that, but I'm really into SoulCal. Big fan. Huh. So I guess the plot takes place 17 years after the events of SoulCal 4. It centers around the children of Soul series veteran Sophia. And that's kind of the big thing there. So they're trying to do this, find this ancient thing. You know, it's always about a weapon, a sword thing, and kind of going from there and battling. And, you know, the story stuff's always a little weird. But yeah, anyways, here's the tie-in character. We've got Ezio Auditore, which is kind of cool. I mean, like, Ezio is a pretty neat character. I'm gonna put it out there. Should we bring out the sick and twisted Valdo, because it totally matches his style. And we'll do Fortress. Oh, the Free Imperial Center. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. And the music and everything's always great for these SoulCal games, as is the combat. I mean, they all do kind of different things in regards to the combat, which kind of makes it a little bit more unique for battling, I guess you would say, others online. So people usually like or dislike the games based on that sort of thing. Wow, Ezio looks really good in this. You know what? Honestly, if they really wanted to, I don't see why Ubisoft wouldn't be alright with, like, kind of remastering, like, seeing this game remastered and throwing, like, Ezio back in it. Or you could always get rid of the guest characters, too. But, I mean, that is a little bit of the personality of the games. Like, I literally think of SoulCal 2 for GameCube as, like, having Link, and I guess other platforms, they have different characters, and, yeah, it's all a thing and everything like that. Kind of cool seeing Ezio in this one. Battle fight. Because, yeah, I guess at the time, Ezio would have been really having all those hot Krieg games that were on the market, right? So kind of a nice tie-in and stuff, and he kind of fits, right? Doing the bladed combat, everything like that. He looks really good in this game. Seriously, the character model and all that. Fantastic. I know the sick and twisted Valdo here doesn't... like, this one, I don't know how to describe it, but the characters almost seem a little toned down in regards to, like, their looks, if that makes sense. Usually there's a bit more of a... I don't know if you'd say necessarily like a sex appeal from Faldo, but you know, the outfits definitely seem to cover up a lot more in this particular entry, which I think is kind of fascinating. I don't know if that was going for more market appeal or what, but it's kind of something I've observed with this entry. Oh, and there was some character customization stuff present, and this game just looks really, honestly, quite good. Like, seriously, it's kind of a genuinely impressive offering for this entry in the series. Like, I'm blown away by the visuals, because I've been playing a lot of 360 stuff, a lot of, well, you know, backwards compat stuff, and sometimes like it's mixed results, if that makes sense, for what you typically get when you do this sort of thing in terms of like aesthetics. And yeah, but I mean, fighting games are a little simpler. I'm not like acting like there's no jaggedy lines and stuff, but just compared to some other ones I've seen, this is really genuinely an impressive technical effort and achievement. I can't believe Ezio is in this. That's actually a really interesting choice. Usually they go a little crazier. He feels almost like a safe addition. Yeah, 28 playable characters, 10 that were brand new. Yeah, that could have been a thing for this one, was the fact that, like, there's mostly new characters and stuff. That always sort of holds some people back on franchises. Because I was sitting here looking, I was just like, I don't know most of these characters. I was like, this is weird. Because, like, I did play this one. I have achievements for it. Siegfried. Usually a character. I was sitting there, I was like, where are my favorites? We'll do... It looks fun. But you could tell that some characters are very clearly, like, you know, based on other characters, if that makes... Like, I guess, again, it's like family dynasty lines and stuff too, right? But, like, the Tranquil Wasteland, the Hidden Dragon, Sinking Merchant Ship. Trying to think of, like, the cool places. Really, Conqueror's Coliseum looks awesome. I think this one fits the combat we have going on here. It loads fast too, which is nice. Test your might at the festival. Yeah, this is great. this is a smile on my face coming back and playing some more SoulCal.
Right now? Okay.
Even the character models and all that look really good too. Considering how, I guess you would say, late in the gen this was, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't do like a next gen port of this. You know what I mean? Like, especially since there wasn't too many fighter games at the launch of the gen. Honestly, you could have just upped this one for resolution. You could have just made it available. Kind of wonder why they didn't do that. It would have, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have financially been worth it to do the sales numbers or something, but, like, it's honestly a shocker. I think this would have been a prime candidate to make it a bit of a cross-gen type thing. Especially since we didn't get SoulCal till, like, really late in the previous gen. And, still waiting for another SoulCal. The series has always been a little bit more niche and whatnot, but I will always anticipate the next SoulCalibur game. Genuinely, the series is so good. So we talked about story mode, there's arcade mode, time trial stuff, yeah, multiple multiplayer maps. It's kind of got everything going on. Okay, I totally messed up on that. You really gotta get the intricacies too of these games, don't you? For most effective combat, but it feels really true to the SoulCal series. It's just got different roster characters. I think that's a problem they always have trying to evolve the different game franchises, if that makes sense. Is like, how do you do things? Do you introduce like a new cast? It's like, there's only so many times you can like do the same characters, and you know, trying to continue the story onwards. I can definitely see being like a struggle for like keeping fans and stuff happy. Because that's a problem too, is like you're basically sitting there, just like I was, being like, oh, where's this character? Where's that character? And Yeah, it's kind of funny. Just being like, yeah, but then also being like, well, you know, you do need to evolve things and change time and add new characters. And yeah, it's like, I guess it's an issue is there's like expectations, if that makes sense, where I'm kind of like, oh, I love this character or that character. And it's like I just like to see them all the time, which obviously isn't. This is something you can do if you want to do that stuff. Apparently I have a custom made character, but I am terrified to see what my custom made character looks like or what they are. somewhat terrified, which is kind of funny. She battled the hidden. No, we should do the Colosseum. Yeah, the Colosseum looked awesome. Conqueror's Colosseum. Yeah, let's do it. In SoulCalibur. I guess a curse of an ancient weapon is a bit of a story thing in this one. I have to sit there and go through the story bit again. Well, she still got it going on, but she's still, I think, a little more clothed than usual, Ivy, honestly. It's just strange. Like, it must have been, like, a thing at the time they were trying to do, and I'm just like, I get it. You know, trying to get a new, fresh gen of characters in while still having the traditional ones. KO! I need more SoulCalibur in my life. I really do, and I love that there's more like backdrop kind of things going on. Like, I always remember the SoulCal games, they were always kind of technically impressive, I think. But there was an element of like the simplicity of backdrops in them and stuff. Seems like such a cheap attack there. Unblockable. Fight. I think the multiplayer for these games is always hyper competitive too. I remember that being a big thing. Uh-oh. So she's like a magic user. I guess that kind of makes sense. We basically are using high levels of magic, but we're, you know, kind of doing swordplay and stuff. Swordplay. I think this one was pretty well responded to critically, yeah. Not bad at all. I think it would mostly come down to the fans' attention and interest in the series in regards to the big change-ups. Because that is a big change-up, having like basically a fresh roster of new characters and stuff. It's like SoulCal, the next gen or something like that. Which, I don't know how well that would have resonated with people at the time. To fight the lizard thing, or you need to? Maxi. How old are some of these characters? I guess if they're young and, you know, in the other game, they must have been kind of getting there at this point for this. Got all these locked stages. Obviously, I haven't done enough progression, or my save stuff didn't carry through. Hilde versus Astaroth. I love also the beginning pans of like SoulCal. See, there's such a unique characteristic of how these games do their things. Like, all the fighting games have their own distinct way of like starting the battle, and then SoulCal is always like these pans, and it tells like a little bit of the story of the arena, and then you get into it, and it's kind of amazing. I like this character. She's kind of neat looking, using a big flag post, which I don't think is ideal, although Astaroth is kind of taking it to me, which I don't love. Astaroth, no. He's an immortal machine of chaos and death. Die! I always loved the weapon-based combat of SoulCal too. I always thought that was interesting. Wow, he actually did like a counter thing. Okay, stop it, Astaroth. I also remember in SoulCal 2, you could sit there and just like smack them over and over and over again after you kill them and be like, oh! This was always entertaining. We need, like, ideally, it would be really cool if the whole series could be, like, remastered. I guess that's the one holdup for the series, is just, like, it's, the licensing stuff for the characters, right? Oh, you ringed me out? Come on, Astaroth, you monster. Really is a monster. Even he's showing a lot less skin, which is kind of funny. It's more like a Bane thing in this one. Alright, let's do it. Battle for fight! Because, yeah, it's kind of a big thing, right? Like, we've got... Strangely, I think the only fighting series that you can play all of on one platform in the modern era is on Xbox, and it's the Dead or Alive franchise. You can play all 6 of the games. You know, not counting, like, spin-offs and stuff, maybe, but you can actually play all 6 of them, which is intriguing. I miss the SoulCal games. I'm trying to think of other fighting games where you can play most of them. Street Fighter 4 to... Well, no, you can't even play 5 on that platform. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, these fighting games. But you would think fighting games would be a little bit more versatile for longevity compared to other series. Like, I get that they have, like, tie-ins with, like, guest characters and stuff, a lot of them, but... You would still think the main game would be pretty easily transferable, but maybe they're also... Because I don't think of them as, like, you know, like racing games. So you got, like, there's a dozen Fortzas, and you're like, yeah, there's less of a point in having the older ones. 1 or 2 are, like, really good, you know, in the series. Like, oh, Forza 4 would be, like, the one to kind of keep, but... You get what I mean? Like, I am so terrified of my creative character. Okay. Huh. Okay, let's do it. I'm throwing it up there. I'm always just kind of like, and we'll fight, when we fought yet. Raphael, really? I'll go with that kind of look. I don't know if it's a retro look or not. But anyways, as I was saying, it's just kind of funny that, like, you would think that fighting games, because each of them is so distinct, that they would be more, like, for longevity purposes, easier to carry between them and that, and it's,
Will you fight me?
you think they would be able to carry over better, right? Yeah, this is so something I would make back then, when this came out. It's actually like a really good, high-quality looking character there. It's kind of amazing. I love how I named her, huh? And then I think she's got, was that Sophia's style or something like that? KO. Dude, this is a neat idea of, like, transferring the storyline like this, isn't it? You better watch out, Raphael. I'll take you down. You get like a block going on here? Raphael, no! Perish. Ooh, that's gotta hurt a lot. I don't know why I expected it to be worse, but, you know, honestly, this character... She's pretty tame, honestly. It's time, is it? Excellent! Raphael didn't see that coming, did he? He's like, what, the lack of armor here is ridiculous. I want to know the thought process I have behind giving her these, like, weird furry shoulder pads. It's like no other armor, but I guess it's to, like, block sword hits or something, but with, like, a comfort level. Uh-oh. That's not cool, Raphael. Could you stop so I could, like, win? Oh, come on. KO. Yeah, I think there's been a criminally lack of SoulCal games available for quite a while. They need to bring this series back and, you know, at least give me some remasters. At least make some of these available again. You know, they're great games. It's such a shame. Oh, come on. We can beat Raphael. No, we can't beat Raphael. Raphael's too good. He's too powerful. For some silly reason. I don't understand it.